The mystery of the missing mascot. At Crestwood Elementary, excitement filled the air as the annual Spirit Week approached. Students adorned in bright colors, cheers echoed in the hallways, and the anticipation for the big football game was palpable. Among the most enthusiastic were best friends Mia and Jake, known for their boundless energy, creativity, and an unshakable sense of bravery. Mia, a fourth grader with a penchant for detective novels, had always dreamed of solving a mystery. Jake, her loyal sidekick with a knack for inventing clever gadgets, was always up for an adventure. Together, they formed a dynamic duo known as the Crestwood Sleuths. One sunny morning, as students buzzed about the upcoming events, a shocking announcement reverberated through the school. Attention, everyone! It appears that our beloved school mascot, Benny the Bear, has gone missing. Principal Martinez announced, her voice filled with concern. If anyone has information about Benny's whereabouts, please let us know. The gym erupted in gasps and whispers. Benny the Bear was a giant, fluffy costume that embodied school spirit, and without him, the big game would feel incomplete. "Jake, we have to find Benny," Mia said, her eyes sparkling with determination. "This is our chance to solve a real mystery." Jake nodded enthusiastically. "I've got my backpack full of gadgets. Let's get to work." The duo quickly formed a plan. They would interview witnesses, search the school, and use their creativity to unravel the mystery. As they gathered their supplies, a flashlight, a notepad, and Jake's homemade detectoscope, they were ready for action. Their first stop was the art room, where they found Ms. Patel, the art teacher, covered in paint. "Ms. Patel, have you seen Benny the Bear?" Mia asked, her voice steady. "Benny? No, I haven't seen him since yesterday's pep rally," Ms. Patel replied, her brow furrowing. "But I did see some students carrying boxes into the storage room after the event." "Thank you," Jake said, jotting down notes. "We'll check it out." They hurried to the storage room, hearts racing with excitement. The door creaked as they opened it, revealing a dimly lit space filled with art supplies and old equipment. They scanned the room for any sign of Benny. "Look," Mia pointed to a pile of boxes in the corner. "What's that?" As they approached, they saw a small, fuzzy paw sticking out from under a box. With a deep breath, Jake reached for the box and lifted it, revealing a very confused and slightly squished Benny the Bear. "Benny!" Mia exclaimed, rushing forward. "You're safe." But as they pulled the costume out, they noticed something odd. Benny was not just missing, he was covered in bright blue paint. "Oh, this is a bit more complicated than we thought," Jake said, scratching his head. "Who would do this?" Suddenly, they heard giggles from outside the storage room. Curious, they peeked through the door and saw a group of fifth graders, including their rivals, Max and his crew, snickering as they walked away. "I bet they did this," Mia whispered, narrowing her eyes. "They must have thought it would be funny to prank us before the game." "But how do we prove it?" Jake asked, feeling the pressure mounting. Mia thought for a moment, her mind racing. "We can set up a trap. If we can catch them in the act, we'll have all the proof we need." "Great idea. But what kind of trap?" Jake wondered. "Let's use my detective skills and your gadgets," Mia suggested, her eyes lighting up. "We can create a fake Benny to lure them in." With renewed determination, they set to work. They grabbed a bunch of old clothes and stuffed them with crumpled paper to create a decoy Benny. They placed him in the center of the gym, propped up and looking just like the real thing, albeit a bit ragged. "Now, we just need to wait," Mia said, peering from behind a nearby pillar, her heart racing with anticipation. Minutes turned into an hour, and just when they thought their plan might not work, they saw Max and his friends approaching, looking mischievous. "There's that stupid bear," Max snickered, nudging his friends. "Let's get him." Mia and Jake exchanged glances and held their breath as they watched the fifth graders sneak closer. Just as they reached for the decoy, Mia and Jake jumped out, startling them. "Gotcha!" Mia yelled, feeling a rush of adrenaline. Max and his friends froze, eyes wide. "What the? Why did you guys paint Benny?" Jake demanded, brandishing his detectoscope like a shield. "It was just a prank." We didn't think you'd actually care, Max stammered, glancing at his friends, who were trying to suppress their laughter. Well, we do care, Mia said, stepping forward. Benny is important to our school and pranks can go too far. Yeah, and we need him for the big game, Jake added. You guys should apologize. Max looked sheepish, glancing at Benny and then back at Mia and Jake. Fine, we're sorry. We just wanted to have a little fun. As they stood there, a newfound understanding sparked between the rival groups. How about we all work together to clean up Benny? Mia suggested, her voice softening. Yeah, we can even help fix him up, Jake added. With the tension dissipating, Max and his friends nodded in agreement. The group worked together, laughing and joking as they scrubbed Benny with soap and water. Mia and Jake shared their detective gadgets, and Max even admitted he'd never thought of using a detectoscope for anything other than showing off. As the final touches were made, Benny the bear looked as good as new, bright and fluffy, ready to cheer for Crestwood Elementary. Thanks for helping out, Max said, sincerity in his voice. We didn't mean to ruin the fun. Just remember, there's a line between fun and trouble, Mia replied, smiling. With Benny restored to his former glory, the group headed to the football field for the big game. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the field, the excitement was palpable. The players, cheerleaders, and parents all gathered to watch. When it was time for Benny to make his grand entrance, Mia and Jake felt a surge of pride as they helped carry him onto the field. The crowd erupted into cheers, and Benny danced happily, waving at everyone. You two are heroes, one of the teachers exclaimed, giving them a thumbs up. As the game kicked off, Mia and Jake stood side by side, cheering for their team and basking in the camaraderie they had built. The spirit of Crestwood Elementary was alive and well, and the bond between students had grown stronger that day. From that moment on, Mia and Jake weren't just known as the Crestwood Sleuths. They were celebrated as the brave duo who not only solved a mystery, but also brought their school community together. And as they cheered for their team, they knew that with a little creativity, bravery, and teamwork, they could tackle any challenge that came their way. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the field, Mia turned to Jake and grinned. What's next on our adventure list? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out, Jake replied, filled with excitement for the countless adventures still to come. And with that, the dynamic duo knew that their school days were just beginning, filled with mysteries waiting to be solved and friendships to be forged.